Hello, and welcome to another episode of eBay Scavengers at ebayscavengers.com. This is episode number 79. I'm Ryan. I'm here with Jay.
Hello, Ryan.
And we are talking about what's going on in our store this week.
Yeah, so it's holiday week.
Yeah, we're actually recording this on New Year's Eve. So it is a bit of a holiday between Christmas and New Year's.
But I don't know, maybe for some of other people who do eBay and sell online, it really hasn't been much of a holiday for us. We've been
working, yeah, clearly. We worked on Christmas.
Yeah. I mean, it's this year we decided not to go anywhere for the holidays.
Which is nice. Yeah. I miss my family often, but the travel, my family's all like 10 hours away.
Yeah.
Driving.
Yeah. But, it's good. I mean, and it's true. Like any, brick and mortar or retailer, we definitely sell a lot during this time of year.
Yeah.
I mean, I hear with retailers that they often depend on like 60% or more of all their sales for the whole year. I mean, ours definitely isn't that much, but
That's crazy. Yeah.
But but these, November, December, January are definitely our biggest months for the most part. And
we didn't make as much as we did last year during December, which is kind of a bummer, but we still did really well.
Yeah.
So.
And it was slow. I mean, it was crazy. It was really busy leading up to it's Christmas. And then I guess it would make sense. Like the week of Christmas, it was pretty slow. I guess because people are traveling, doing holiday stuff, and they know if they buy, it's not going to get to them by it's Christmas time.
But it's been steady after Christmas. Like this week has been fine.
And then like right as Christmas ended, it was great. And I guess it's what everyone says, that there's now a season after Christmas is getting as big as before because people get gift cards, people get money for Christmas, or people, they call it gifting. People start buying presents for themselves.
Yeah, that they didn't get or whatever.
I guess so, yeah.
That's funny.
It's good.
So this week we started doing auto returns or hassle-free returns, whatever they're called. And
right. I mean, I think, let's be clear, when we do these podcasts, we're often talking about stuff that we're interested in. So we, did that podcast about auto returns, and so many people said it wasn't a bad thing.
Yeah, they said it wasn't a big deal. They're like, just turn it on. So we did. And we got some manual returns, just people writing us saying they were returning it, which is fine. But then we got 2 people who initiated the automatic returns. And the good thing was both of them said the item didn't fit, or someone found a better price or something like that. So we didn't have to pay shipping, which is great. They
said they would pay the shipping. So far, evidence is against my fear that buyers are just going to blame us and try and send things back and make us pay, and then we would have to fight that. But so far, it's been good.
So good. So we'll see. I'm happy with not. I mean, I like having a conversation about returns because actually, one guy, this one lamp I sent to someone, he said it got there broken, which is unfortunate. I thought I packed it well enough, but I was able to just give him a partial refund because he said he would keep it, and I'm assuming he's going to repair it.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it wasn't damaged enough where he didn't want to, give it back.
So it's good to have a conversation.
Yeah, but I think what helped change my mind was people saying that eBay sends you a message when someone starts a return. Then you get another message when they ship it, and often there's a time gap in there. And that time gap is when we could actually start a conversation with them and try and, give them a refund or try and talk them down.
So I guess for me, I thought there wasn't a chance to do that. I mean, obviously, you could always send someone a message, but...
Right, well, yeah, we were totally fearful, afraid of little bunny rabbits, and now we're,
One other thing I wanted to mention, too, was there was an unpaid item that we had. I put up these lamps. They were these, 1930s sconces, and within 10 minutes, someone had given me an offer of $100, and we accepted it. And the guy didn't pay and didn't respond to any messages, didn't say anything like, hey, I'll pay in 5 days. Or, sometimes with high offers like that, people want the item. So we did the usual thing where I did an unpaid item thing through eBay, and I requested his phone number. And then Jay, before I was going to relist it, Jay did something interesting, which was...
It's my turn.
Yeah, it's your turn. Your turn now.
Yeah, I just wrote an email to the guy, a message just appealing to his better nature. Because, normally... if it's like a $30 item, you just let it slide. But it was $100.
$100,
and so I really wanted him to pay. And so I looked into his history and, saw that he had bought a lot of stuff. He focused on lights. And I just really said, you aren't an amateur. You're holding up this item for us for a week. Please pay, or at least tell us you don't want this thing.
Right.
You need to communicate, that this is how this system worked. He still hasn't communicated it with us other than paying, which
he did pay, yeah.
And that's the best communication
That's the best, but it's just, it's always so strange when someone buys something for a high price or, says they're going to, and even his email said like vintage lights 178 or something, and you're like, why isn't this person saying anything to me?
But that happens to us sometimes where people will make an offer, we will accept it right away. Then they don't pay for a while, and then they'll come back to us and they'll say, "Oh, sorry, I left for out of town, or I've been offline." And it's always so strange to us that someone would log out and then they don't
even check.
They don't check, or I guess they don't push the messages to their email.
It's something like that.
It's different online activities. So the other episode we did recently was listing things on Amazon.
Talking about listing things.
Right, talking about, and we talked to Katie Burt about it, and she was great. And, and we did that podcast because I was really interested in how it works. So we actually tried it yesterday.
Now, we have to give credit to Suzanne Wells because she has an ebook about selling. I think it's about selling on Amazon, and she says just start with books, right?
Yeah, it was some free download I saw on her site, and it was like the 90-day experiment. Just spend 5 hours a week and list books. And she said she was making $400 a week. So we have a box of books that we've been slow to list.
Right.
And then we also went to our local thrift store where you can get 2 garbage bags of stuff for $5.
So we filled one up with books.
And they have a whole wall of books. So we went through there and we actually used the Profit Bandit iPhone app.
Yeah, the cool thing about Profit Bandit, well, one thing is it costs $15.
Yeah.
So that's a high-priced app. But the good thing is you don't have to pay for it monthly because there's a lot of like Amazon scanner apps that have a monthly fee. So we were like, F that.
We're really against subscription things.
So the other thing too is it's a tax write-off. So that's an expense.
But Profit Bandit is it makes your iPhone, and I'm sure Android too, into a scanner. Yeah. So you just stand there, and we're just scanning books because as many of them have that little code,
the barcode,
and then it tells you. The cool thing about it is it tells you how much people are selling it for, and then it gives you how much profit they think you're going to make because it includes all the fees that Amazon does.
Yeah, it's really helpful because then you're seeing, there are 500 of this bestseller book online and they're selling for a penny. So I'm not going to get that book, or I'll get it for myself, but I'm not going to.
And honestly, what we learned, is that like books do not sell for a lot of money. I don't know how Suzanne Wells was making $400 a week selling books.
Like what kind of books and she after a month decided to do FBA, so fulfilled by Amazon. And that includes like Prime customers who get like free shipping, and they bundle it with like a big order.
But still, it seems like, Amazon fees and eBay fees seem about the same, although they're structured in a different way.
Yeah.
But it seems like no matter what you sell on Amazon for 99 cents or $100, you're going to pay at least $5 in fees. Yeah. So you cannot be selling 99-cent items and make a profit.
Any money as an individual.
So you have to be hitting more like $12 to $15 in order to make $5 or $7 profit, which isn't really
where are you going to find a book that goes for that much, you know?
So we have a box that we did. So we ended up listing, what, like 30 books?
Yeah, it was like 35 books. And the reason is, I mean, just like with our eBay items, we look for very specialty, like, books. You know, we're always looking for, like, you know, vintage art, you know, photography books or architecture books or design books. You know, those are like $100 books.
Right.
You know?
I think we might have found one book yesterday at the thrift store, but all the other books that we listed were ones we had found on our other scavenging trips that have just been in a box waiting to be put up. And like Ryan said, these were just, you know, like really like one of, you know, when they just print a small amount of them.
like a limited edition.
Right.
The other thing I found too, which is kind of a weird, I don't know why this is, but I can sell a book on eBay, like a vintage book that might be on Amazon for 50 cents for $30 on eBay.
Right.
What the F? Like, why is, like, I sold this vintage book. There are a couple vintage books from like the 60s, like illustrated, like kind of books for teenagers. $30
right
on eBay, and I don't know why didn't they just go on Amazon
and buy it cheaper.
I don't know,
because I guess with books, you know, if you have these big book outlets and bookstores that have been on Amazon for a decade now, and they just have people scanning and listing books, and they're the ones that sell for a penny. And then I guess Amazon gives you an automatic $4 for postage and handling.
Right.
So if you buy a paperback, it probably would
and
cost...
if you could send it first class, it's cheap.
For $1, so
yeah,
you're automatically making $3 off of the handling. And that's really, I guess, how they make their money.
Well, it's like e-books and people like that.
So, as we always say, we are always wanting to be wrong. So if you hear this and you do sell books on Amazon, we'd love to hear in the comments... what books are you selling, and how many do you actually sell? Like, I really, I think if I remember from Suzanne Wells' free ebook, she actually did a breakdown of her numbers, and she sold like 237 books. I don't know if it was in a month or the 3-month period, but that's a lot of books.
It's a lot, yeah. So we'll see.
Yeah, and also it's always difficult because people say they make $400 a week, but you know, that's gross profit. I wonder how much the net profit is after all the expenses. Right.
But the great thing is, I will say, you don't have to take pictures. Yep. You just scan the, or whatever. I was like dictating on the computer, like the ISBN number, and it just comes right up in their catalog, and you say, put it up, say very good condition, good condition. Yep. I mean, it takes like almost no time. It's so fast.
I mean, we did take a couple pictures because some of the books we had, they didn't have pictures up, but for most of the items, someone had already taken pictures, so you're just a listing and then just competing on price.
Right. So it's kind of cool because she says, you know, you can make a large profit just spending 5 hours a week.
Yeah.
Rather than 40 hours on eBay.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll see if we sell any books.
Yeah. I mean, you know, everyone makes these claims. I mean, we do as well. It's always interesting to put those claims to the test and see if they're actually true.
Yeah.
You know? So the other thing is we just sold this old men's sweater.
And by old, we mean we've had it for 4.5 years.
It's one of the first things that we had listed, and we can even post a photo of it on this blog post so you can just see what our pictures used to look like.
I think I was using our iPhone, Generation 1 iPhone with like studio lights and like a white sheet behind us, which a lot of people still do, but it just looks terrible.
Yeah, I mean, it was just, I think it's interesting, and you know, we've always said that we let things ride, so this is 4 years old.
Which is ridiculous.
Might even be a little older than that.
The funny thing was, because it was so old, my old items are $9.99 with make offer. He made an $8 offer. We were like, yes. But if we had taken new pictures of it, it was a vintage 100% wool, like nice V-neck sweater. I would have put, you know, $36 on it.
Yeah. But the interesting thing is, I bet we still made at least $1 or $2, even when you take into account it was up for 48 months and we were spending 5 cents a month to a list.
Yeah.
And then with the final value fees, we still made $1 or $2. So
it evened out.
So that's why I sometimes read these eBay blogs where people are really insistent on like things got to sell ASAP, right, and if they don't sell right away, then you just cut the cost and you just like move it.
Right.
If you have trouble with storage, I guess that's important. But, you know, again, for us, it doesn't matter if it takes a day or 2 years for something to sell. If you have a big enough inventory, there's always something selling. Although
I will say that because sales were a little bit slow during Christmas, like before Christmas, we said... I hadn't been putting stuff on make offer because I was like, I know the price of things, but we were like, anything over $59.99, let's just put make an offer. Let's just get some action going on. And that's helped. So we've gotten some offers.
Ryan, that's a great segue.
That's a great segue into our next...
You're such a great broadcaster.
Shush.
Yeah, so our next podcast is actually going to be about that. It's going to be about how to make offer strategies. We've kind of done it before, but we kind of have a new approach to it that we're going to go down.
So before we end, we're going to do a couple questions that people have been sending into our blog. So the first question is from John Cal, who's asked questions before. Okay, so John asks, can you tell us the largest thing you have shipped? Well, we had 2 things that had to get picked up because they were too big to ship. But.
And, you know, specifically, I guess he's asking because the Postal Service has a limit to the size. Yes. So if something gets too big, you can also use a UPS or
FedEx.
It's FedEx instead of that.
Yes, so the largest thing we had shipped, we had to go through UPS. It was a huge lamp.
Right.
And that was the big...
It was like a hanging lamp / chandelier. It was like massive. It was probably one of the first big lights we've ever sold, and it was a real... We had to drive to another town. We had to go to different shippers because very few people would want to help us pack it.
Yeah, it sucked.
It was not a fun experience, but like with anything, it was a good experiment for us because now we have like a system for how we know what we can ship and what we need other people to ship.
And how much we charge the customer to do that crazy amount of work. So, yeah.
And so this is a good question. So what we do now is if something is too big for us to pack, we actually do 2 listing. No, we do one where it's just a local pickup. So pieces of furniture, things like that. We say, you can pick this up.
Right.
And we do another listing where we will ship it, but only if the buyer deals with figuring out who's going to pick it up, because there are shipping services that will come and pack it up and
like
take it away.
Yeah, like freight services. Yeah. Okay, so Carrie asks a question. Do you have problems with listing the Euro and UK sizes for shoes? Do you use what is on the shoe, if it's on there, or sizes from a conversion chart? When I look at different shoe conversion charts, they vary in what they say the equivalent sizes are. I also use a conversion chart. If the shoe has a label that has the US, UK, and EU sizes, I use that as a reference because the shoe company is saying what it is. But most of my shoes only have the US size, so I just use a conversion chart, and I just list that. And I compare it to what my shoe is in Euro to make sure the conversion chart is correct. Like, I wear a 39 in Euro size, so if they say 39 is women's 8.5, I'm like, okay, that sounds right to me. Right. So I just go by that one.
And we can actually link to the chart that we use.
Yeah. And I try to put the European sizes in my title too.
And also, we have a template for our shoes. You could even link to that conversion chart if you want in the template, just so if a buyer is concerned about getting the exact thing, then they can see it's your conversion chart.
Yep, that's a really good idea.
Okay, Tony says, so I come upon some stuff on the side of the road and I pick it up as a scavenge item to resell. What's the difference between scavenging and stealing? How can you tell the item has been purposely discarded and no longer wanted?
It's a really good question.
I mean, I think this is kind of just like common sense. I mean, we definitely, when we're especially like it's New York, we'll go out on trash day and there's big piles of garbage. And when I say garbage, not like, pieces of meat and vegetables like
rotting
away, just like large trash bags. And then on top of that will be a lamp or a chair
or a rug.
I mean, those things are free to use. Now if you're going up on someone's porch and pulling something, it's probably not. I think if you're concerned, you can always ask. I mean, we've gone to yard sales before where they have all this stuff for sale, and then they have this like pile off to the side, and we've asked about it, and they said that's our free pile.
That's free. Just take it.
And we're like, that free stuff is the best stuff there, and we take it. So.
Also, if you're wondering, if you're like, I don't know if someone put this out in their yard for me to take or whatever, don't take it if you question it, or go up and ask.
But if it's on the side of the road, I mean, I don't know.
Most likely it's out for free or it's trash.
Yeah, I mean, I think your spidey senses will tell you if there's a problem or not.
Yep.
But that's good, though. Definitely look for things in unobvious places.
And ask if you think it's not supposed to be taken.
I do want to make one last note. Tax season is coming up. Like this month, we're going to have to do our taxes, and that's always a little bit of a struggle. But again, we use Outright. It used to be called Outright. It's now called GoDaddy Bookkeeping. And that's how we pull in all of our eBay, PayPal, and our bank account info, and it does all of our
categorization and itemization.
And that's how you do all the worksheet that you do for your taxes.
So we're going to link to that in the blog today, so you can check it out.
Cool. Okay. Well, let's do the next one.
All right. So check out our next episode about best offer.